Hi, welcome to Spec Hunter. So then guys, are we going to be getting an M5 and an M5 Pro Mac Mini? Will it come out in 2025 or in 2026? Or could Apple skip the M5 altogether when it comes to the Mac Mini? These are questions many people have right now, especially after the recent upgrades we've seen from Apple. Today I want to take you through everything we know so far, what we expect to see, and also what kind of performance gains could be coming if Apple really decides to launch these new versions. To begin with, let's remind ourselves of where the Mac Mini is right now. The most recent update gave us the M4 and the M4 Pro versions of the Mac Mini. These machines launched just before the end of 2024. This release was important because it was the first time Apple changed the design of the Mac Mini in over 10 years. Closer to 15 if you really think about it. For years, Apple kept the same small silver box look, but this new generation finally brought a fresh approach. The redesign has been very well received. It's smaller, more compact, and in fact it is about 50% smaller in volume compared to the previous model. This makes it much easier to fit into almost any workspace, and it looks modern at the same time. Many people also love the new pricing. The base model starts at $599, and for that you get the M4 chip, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and 256 gigabytes of storage. For many users, this setup is plenty for everyday use. You get speed, efficiency, and a great design at a very fair entry price. But now, the real focus is on the next generation. If Apple does release a new Mac Mini, what changes can we expect? Well, the biggest updates will obviously be the new chips inside. This means the M5 and the M5 Pro. Apple usually brings chip updates to the Mac Mini in line with other Macs. So the chances are very high that when the M5 family launches, the Mac Mini will be a part of that lineup. Let's start with the design because this is one area people wonder about. Since Apple only just introduced a brand new look for the Mac Mini, it is extremely unlikely we will see another design update anytime soon. Apple tends to keep one design for a long time, and history proves that. The previous design lasted over a decade. So, the design we have today will most likely stick around for years and for many chip generations to come. Honestly, this isn't a bad thing at all. The new Mac Mini looks great, and it works really well. The only minor complaint some users have is the power button on the back, which isn't the most convenient placement. But apart from that, it's a very solid design. Now, looking at the M5 chip, what can we expect? The current M4 chip gives us a 10-core CPU and a 10-core GPU. The CPU has 6 efficiency cores and 4 performance cores. The M5 will most likely keep the same setup, but with upgraded cores they're faster and more efficient. Early reports suggest that multi-core performance could improve by about 25% compared to the M4. That's a significant jump. Single-core performance may not improve as much, but it should still see gains. On the GPU side, this is where things get interesting. Since the M2 chip, Apple has kept the base GPU at 10 cores. But now, with the M5, there's a good chance Apple will finally add more. We could see a move up to 12 GPU cores in the base version. This would be a meaningful step forward for graphics power, especially for people who use the Mac Mini for creative work, light gaming, or handling graphics-heavy applications. When it comes to memory, Apple recently made 16 gigabytes the new baseline across all Macs. That was a big jump forward from the old 8 gigabyte baseline, but now it means there won't be another jump so soon. Expect the same memory options we have now, 16, 24, and 32 gigabytes for the standard M5 version. That should be plenty for most users. Storage, however, could see a welcome change. Right now, the base storage for the Mac Mini is 256 gigabytes. In 2025 and beyond, this feels too small, especially for users who keep a lot of apps, photos, videos, and other files. Apple may raise the base storage to 512 gigabytes, which would make the entry-level model far more practical. If they do this and keep the price at $599, it would be one of the best value Macs Apple has ever sold. Now let's look at the M5 Pro. The M4 Pro inside the current Mac Mini comes with up to 14 CPU cores, made up of 4 efficiency cores and up to 10 performance cores. With the M5 Pro, Apple may push this even further. We could see up to 12 performance cores this time, while keeping the 4 efficiency cores. That would give us a total of 16 cores, which is a big leap in performance potential. The GPU side should also see an upgrade. The M4 Pro currently offers up to 20 GPU cores, but the M5 Pro could expand that to 22 GPU cores. That would mean faster rendering, better graphics performance, and a more capable machine for professionals who need that extra power. Memory options for the Pro model will likely stay the same. The current baseline is 24 gigabytes, with higher configurations available at 48 or 64 gigabytes. These options will almost certainly carry over to the M5 Pro. Storage, however, may change. The current M4 Pro starts with 512 gigabytes. If the regular M5 gets upgraded to 512 gigabytes, then the M5 Pro may start at 1 terabyte. This would make sense for the Pro lineup and would be a smart move by Apple. Pricing is another area many people want to know about. Apple tends to keep prices stable with each generation. That means we should still see the standard M5 Mac Mini start at $599 and the M5 Pro version start at $1,399. Of course, tariffs or supply issues could affect this, but as things stand, those are the most likely price points. So, when will we see these new Macs? This is where things get more uncertain. The M5 chip is expected to show up by the end of 2025, most likely in the iPad Pro and maybe also in the Vision Pro headset. But MacBooks powered by the M5 are not expected until early 2026. For the Mac Mini, the timeline looks even less clear. Reports suggest that the Mac Mini and iMac may not get the M5 until later in 2026. There is also the chance that Apple could skip the M5 altogether for the Mac Mini. If other Macs transition quickly to the M6, Apple might decide it's not worth updating the Mac Mini with an M5. Instead, it could wait for the M6, which might arrive in late 2026 or 2027. This wouldn't be the first time Apple has skipped a chip in one product while releasing it in others. This situation makes things a little confusing. On the one hand, we expect an M5 Mac Mini to happen. On the other, it's possible the timing could push Apple to go straight to the M6. The only way we'll know for sure is when we get closer to 2026. That's when Apple's roadmap will become clearer. So what do you think? Would you buy an M5 Mac Mini if it launched at the end of 2025 or sometime in 2026? Or would you wait to see if Apple skips ahead to the M6? It's a tough call, but for many people the improvements in performance and storage alone would make the M5 worth buying. With that, it's time to wrap up. If you've enjoyed this discussion, please give the video a like. And if you want to keep up with the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss anything new. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon. And for more videos, please remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you always get the latest updates.